Greetings. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth, and I've got some important information to knock out today, to unpack for you. Storm warning. Yeah, look at that. Going to flip it around. Because of symmetry and reflection, the water is flat and level. You'll see the reflector right in the middle of the road. That's a puddle. If I move back a little bit, it's just what it does. It's the way it is. It'll do it every time. There's a puddle that's there. I've got my YouTube channel Truth, and I've got a lot of powerful documentaries and content that I've got up there. I wanted to show you a pretty angry looking sky. The weather is being modified by the artificial intelligence. They like us to call it chemtrails. Oh yeah, well it's electrified atmosphere, and there's particulate that's being added to it. This video will be converted to a YouTube video. If you want YouTube Truth stickers, my address is 169 Cloverleaf Drive here in Long, South Carolina 29568. You can send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. So I'm actually going to be headed into the storm. Right in the middle of the view is the point in Cherry Grove where I've done a lot of videography. All along here is the coastline. I'm about 10 feet above sea level right here. They do have blast wave generators. You can look at what happened in Fukushima. I believe we saw an example of that. You can research it if you care to. But for right now, this is the calm before the storm. I'm going to add a little light on it. So my wind chime is hanging there, and there is no upside down wind chime in comparison to this one. There's up and down, not upside down, in relationship to one another. Most of us believe the Santa Claus lie. Satan lies. NASA lies. Right on the other side of those clouds is some clear blue sky. Yet down low there's a convergence of temperature that creates the clouds. That's how it actually works. Alright, so I'm going to take us on in, and this is for a multiple of reasons why I'll do this. This broadcast, that is. Part of what it is I get inundated with notifications. I don't mind. I want to reach out to people. I want people to know the truth about what's going on in the world. So, whoops, got to turn that off. So when I do a live broadcast, it isn't just to hear myself talk. I get a lot of people that want to know how I'm doing, how things are going, what does it look like there. And then with the notifications, there's commenting on threads, on videos. Sometimes I won't even get the notification unless somebody speaks directly to me. I won't see it. So if there's a video that I'm in and people are chatting back and forth about me, I won't even know it unless I go on over there. One of the reasons why I bring the clear globe with me is to help people see through the global lie. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So let's head on in, and I'll show you what this looks like. About 7 miles from the ocean here. Right on schedule. I could see it coming. I didn't know if I was going to be able to. Well, I didn't know how it's going to unfold. It showed sunny at 7 o'clock, or partly cloudy. I was on a broadcast yesterday with Nathan Roberts. It was awesome. Nathan's done an excellent job with exposing so much. He and his family are such a blessing. I really appreciate him. And in the context of that, I've got new subscribers, and I saw it start to spike. So more people are coming on over to see more of the content that I have. I've had the opportunity to not only capture some of the most mind-blowing video, I believe, in this whole discussion of the shape of the Earth and the conspiracies, including a photo of a jet coming through the other side of one of the Twin Towers. I shot it with my camera before the video was taken down. It's not possible for an aluminum capsule, a fuselage of a jet to fly through steel reinforced concrete. It's not possible. So seeing is believing. What do we see? What do we believe? The little splash of water up there, that's just what water does. People can argue about, oh, it's gravity. All right, well, I'll hear your explanation of gravity and say, well, it doesn't make water stick to a spinning ball anywhere except in the imagination. That's where the globe exists. So we do have the tendency for heavier to fall and lighter to float. That's the reality of that. What makes that happen? Well, God makes it happen. He holds everything together too. That's what His Word says. Now, when I showed the symphony of lighting, wow, pretty interesting. When they did the road project here, I thought, wow, that's going to make the reflections awesome. And it does. The roadways are largely constructed flat and level for the most part. Flat meaning it's a pretty smooth surface, and level meaning just that. There would be no level anywhere. I want to say this as clearly as possible. Oh, I want to show you those signs. Look at how they reflect there. Anyway, there would be no level anywhere in a world that was spinning, wobbling, and gyrating. It would never be level. So part of the evidence of my stationary Earth proclamation is, hey, look at the water. Look at unmanipulated, undisturbed water, and it's flat and level. You can see the perfect symmetry of mountains, snow-covered mountains. We can see it's higher. We can see it's colder. All of that. Wow. I'm gonna flip this around because there are some big lightning bolts up there. So the atmosphere, the air that we breathe, I could smell it this morning. There's a lot of electricity in it, a lot of positive energy, a lot of. So the Earth is the ground, is negative, and then there's the atmosphere all around us that's positive. I was struck by lightning. Got a video called #struck by lightning. It's in my top 100. I've created over, I believe, 1,600 videos, and then I've got another 1,000 videos of documentaries I thought you should know about. From water fluoridation to vaccines to the World Central Bank, the military and medical industrial complex. I'm covering it all. So yesterday when I was on Nathan's broadcast, I know that Nathan, I appreciated that he put all my contact information on that video. What happens when I put my card out there and hashtag my name, which is in reverse, by the way, in that direction, people can add that to a video where I can't comment on. The videos where I've got millions of views, nobody will see my comments there, for the most part. I get responses often. When I comment on videos, it's just that if I put a link, a lot of times they're not going to let the link go up. Simon Dan did. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that. So I had somebody comment on that. Sometimes people think I should do stuff different. Yeah, I do stuff different all the time. Like I should maybe be more active out on the street. I'm active everywhere I am. I'm on the street, on the beach, in the Walmart, wherever I am. I'm out there, way out there. And then I've got the internet all over the world 24/7. This me that's live and active and then the digital representation of me that has more occurrences than I'm even aware of, I'm sure. Not everybody is a fan. In fact, I'm loved and hated. People love and hate my work. Oh well, that's just the way it is. This is the Intracoastal Waterway. We're going over that right now. Down the road, or down the waterway, is where I was interviewing on the Google Hangout with Nathan Roberts, in that direction. Okay, and then in that direction is the open ocean. The clues of the flat and level water are so obvious that there are people that have their heels dug in on this issue, and they just won't hear it. They'll say, well, what about the southern stars? What about all of that? And I'd say, well, I'll hashtag on my videos, on my posts, I can put my links there and say, well, you're going to have to look at this. If you want to. I've got other stuff to do. I'm wanting to wake up as many people as I can. Some people aren't going to. They don't want to be. They want to see it the way they want to see it. They got a good bead on things. Yeah, right. If you believe that people are living on a spinning ball upside down in relationship to each other, it's so obvious that you're out of touch with reality. It's kind of like believing Santa Claus is going to bring you your Barbie or your Red Ryder BB gun if you're a good little boy or girl. I don't have time I'm not going to waste my time with you, especially when you've got a lot of letters around your name and you think yourself very well informed and can figure things out. You got a lot of money, got a lot of credentials, you move a lot of merch, you got a lot of friends, you're getting invited to parties, and unless you're born again, you're going to end up in hell. There's no nice way of saying that. That's just the way it is. So that's why, there's a lot of people that just hate the Bible because it tells them what to do. By and large, people don't want to be told what to do. Okay, so God is all-knowing and all-powerful. It's good to know what He wants me to do. And I daily do my best to do whatever that is. So each day, I go on out and do the best that I can with His help to figure out what's up for today. What do you want me to do today, right now, this morning? And it's go time. So in the view right now, wow, that's a truck hauling corrosives. It's a real heavy duty tanker truck, not hauling fuel. Those type of tankers that have the corrosive showing the hand getting eaten, that's going in the public water supply, just so you know. Isn't that special? That's the truth about that, and you should know about it. The Great Culling is a video talking about water fluoridation. Right next to it on my like videos, Anonymous with the spinning globe in their logo. They should, at this point in the discussion, they should be hip to the fact that we're not on a globe. Anyway, they're talking about pharmaceuticals in the public water supply. There you go. They're drugging the food and the water. They want a population that's very manipulatable. And they be manipulating it. Seeing is believing. What? They're manipulating it with what we see, what we hear, what we think. There's silent weapons for quiet wars. You should know about it. It's a document and a page that I've got. It was significant enough that I created a page for it, put it on my Facebook pages. I'm going to take us right straight out to the ocean. There may be a big puddle right at the end of this street. Right down beyond here is where I captured the sun in the clouds video. One of the reasons for the drive around like this is the fact that with the lighting, the dark clouds, and changing from day or nighttime to day, we'll see quite a contrast. It's all very interesting indeed. So I like to show that. The puddles really pop. They really show all the reality that they're flat and level, and water is seeking its level. I mean, we're right at sea level, right here. This place floods out. They're modifying the weather. We can get hundreds of miles an hour of wind in this area. It has happened. It's probably going to happen again. It's just the way it is. Now, I've got photos and videos where this area is filled with water. There's a drain right down in the middle of the view there that's actually working just fine. So, now that I've established that, at about an hour from now, the porta potty guys will be in here. Liquid Money. They'll pump the porta units out. Good thing they do that. We get a lot of traffic here. About 20 million guests here a year. So I'm going to walk us right on out to the ocean. I wanted to go ahead and show you what it looks like. And I'm also going to grab my... I'll take it just like this, rather than add the... Oh, my gosh, they're running early today. There they are. Look at that, right on time. Actually, an hour earlier. You ever see that before? Hey, good morning, guys. All right, so let's head on out there. We don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity. Well, hello. It's just water seeking its level. That's what it does all over the face of the stationary Earth. So if I had a film crew, a recording crew, a staff that were working with me, we could capture a lot. Wait, in fact, that's what I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to raise people's awareness so you can take your cell phone and show people where you live, what it looks like wherever you are. Are you in Australia? Australia, are you okay there? Like PewDiePie on the video? Yeah, wherever you are. If you want to show us the amphitheater and what the weather looks like and all that, that'd be great. I've got friends all over the face of this stationary Earth. One of them's coming right now with the beach rake, the tractor in the view. He'll be coming probably right through here, so I'll step out of the way and I'm going to show you upside down tractor. Let's zoom in on him a little bit. Do you really think that could happen anywhere except in the imagination? That's part of what I want to show you. That would be what I've called Veeams. I could see it in my imagination even as a kid. You mean there's people upside down in relationship to other people? Wow, that's amazing. Wow, I wonder what Santa's going to bring me for Christmas. Yeah. And then I got hip to the fact that that was all a lie when I was 7 years old. And then, as an added bonus, they supposedly landed a man on the moon. And I bought it until about 5 years ago when I realized that was a lie. Alex called me from the Dominican Republic on Sunday, and he asked a question that I had asked as a child. How did they get back from the moon? Where was the launch pad? He said, and when you fly from one place to another, you got to refuel. How did they fuel up? How did they get back? Okay, so people that are indoctrinated and apparently don't love the truth aren't going to get this. Oh, well. Oh, well. I'll try and tell them anyway. Many of my friends are too. Thank you so much for sharing the work that I do. I'm pedaling as fast as I can, quite frankly. So yeah, I'm out on the street, I'm out on the beach, wherever I am. I put in outrageously long days, and I absolutely love it. Just so you know, I have a passion, purpose, and eternal perspective, and the power to do what I could not do before. That's one of the evidences that this whole thing is real, as far as I can tell, as far as new life in Christ. I'm not the guy that I was. Isn't that special? So we can see the rain coming right down. Where we drove from, I'm about 7 miles right over there. This is the beach that I got the note on my car. It looked like a serial killer wrote it. If you look at the hashtag Robert Forsch results, I'm the #1 result in the world. That's what Alex said, and that's what I see too, because I've been doing it for a while, and other people are too. I got a note on my car that said, "Don't ever come back to this beach again." Oh yeah, I filed a report, so it was filled out, and the police came and all that. I said, you know what I'm doing is a pretty serious thing, and I take that as a serious threat. So I posted it on my profile picture and cover photo. That was about 4 years ago. I'll just keep on going. So this is what it looks like. The Cherry Grove Fishing Pier is right there. Right here on the beach is where I captured the sun in the clouds, apparently. Right over those buildings there. It's at about 750,000 views in its variety of settings. So one of the aspects of this right now, it's easy to see the texture of the sand after a heavy rain. When we had beach renourishment here, where they brought in shiploads of sand, I've got it on my photo album and my YouTube channel. Some of it inverted to show the impossibility of the globe. I'm downwind of the pumping operation right there, I can tell. It's about a 1 to 3 mile an hour of stinky wind. That's right. Yeah, you can tell the wind direction sometimes when they're around. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Anyway, let me just show you the beauty of this. It's coming this way. The coastal regions are beautiful. That's the Myrtle Beach skyline right there. So I'll meet people from all over the world right out here. Good morning. And of course, many people will see my shirt, come up and talk to me. Beautiful sunrise shooting over the top of the clouds. Today the sun is appearing, breaking the plain over in that direction. In the winter, it comes up way over there. That's why I say, do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating? The sun and the moon move different courses over the face of the earth. Right now, the moon is moving a different path than it did just a little while ago, the other moon cycle ago. So you can observe this for yourself if you want to, if that's an important issue for you. The other dynamic is the duration of visibility between the sun and the moon. How long we can see them is more accurately described by the Book of Enoch than NASA, that's for sure. But the projections of the tidal activity that we see out here, and where and when the moon appear and vanish, it's spot on. Now that's the right way. That's how it actually is. There's up and down, not upside down. So we can see the footprints in the sand. Actually, those are mine. And the rest of this is all texture from the rainfall. I've got a page called Weather Wars, hashtag Weather Wars. Wow, glad I was able to catch that. So there's technology that excites the air around us with electronics, a lot of electricity. And then there's the natural occurring of the interaction with the sun and the moon and the earth and the water and all of that. There's a bit of mystery with all this. One of the questions I like to ask the intellectuals, do you know how much a gallon of water weighs? It depends on the temperature, because the temperature changes the volume and density of water. It's what drives the water cycle of the world, or hydrologic cycle of the world. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation in all its forms, at all the different elevations: rain, snow, sleet, fog, frost. The freezer didn't close at our house all the way last night. I opened it up and there was hoarfrost. You spell hoarfrost, H-O-A-R, frost. The little wire that's for the ice maker was about that big around with frost on it. It was amazing. But all that dynamic that the creator of this world, I've known him as Jesus Christ almost all my life. He has Greek and Hebrew references as well. He's known as the Alpha and Omega, the Almighty, the Most Holy, the Most High. I want to talk about science, omniscience, which is omniscience. That's how it's spelled, and here's how it looks. The creator of this world knows everything. That trumps, pun intended, artificial intelligence. To add to all-knowing, hey, for a special bonus, let's go with all-powerful, omnipotent. All-knowing and all-powerful. So am I going to do what he wants me to do, or am I going to try and please a world that doesn't even know what they want? I mean, there's all different appetites that people have. And then I had my own self-effort to try and please me. That failed miserably. Trying to please others failed miserably. Trying to please myself failed miserably. I got a great idea. Why don't I just try to please God with His help? He gave me a love for the truth, which was a gift from Him. A love for the truth and the power to do what I previously couldn't do. Obey biblically. All my effort to obey in my own strength was filthy rags in His sight. Wow. How about that? Now I get to do what He created me to do by His power, and He gives me an eternal perspective. Along with that, a passion to do what He wants to do through me. And then the pleasure to enjoy it all, even in the midst of substantial opposition. The hatred in the groups when we share the truth, or when I do, man, they come after me with a vengeance. Oh well, good luck with that, because I'm not going to be pushed around by anybody. How about that? I just love that about what God has done in and through me. How he does this. So it's a bit of a mystery. It's not I who live, as Paul the Apostle says. It's Christ who lives through me. And He does it with a power that I never had before. So to those that are questioning, is the Bible real? I would say, yeah, it is. Is the whole need to be born again real? Oh yeah, and it happened to me. I thought it happened a long time ago. So I can see him coming, and I'm going to get out of his way, but I want to show him again. Upside down. To show the impossibility of that. If he comes this way, he will. But I was looking for it in the with the background of the ocean. Doesn't that look silly? Yet people believe that's happening. I don't even joke that that's Australia. That's not Australia. That's right here. And that's the ridiculousness of the upside down world. It only exists in the imagination. And I care enough and take the time to tell people because something as important as actually being born again, for sure, is way more important than being able to realize that there aren't people upside down in relationship to one another. However, that being said, if you can believe that there are upside down people and you believe you're born again, you can know that you're not believing in a biblical model of the world that we live in. As water reflects a man's face, God's word reflects the man. How about that? So when I looked in the mirror and I saw a drug addict and alcoholic, I knew there was a problem with me. I didn't have the power to do what I needed to do because I hadn't been born again yet. Good morning. So we profile. We see things all around us. Friendly wave from the gentleman over there. I've met people in tough situations that I'll leave some info for him. He can reach out to me if he wants to. I hope so. That's yeah, I was homeless. I help people that are in between their accommodations, having a tough time too. A Mylar blanket is really helpful, a camping blanket. Lighthouses are a clue to this whole thing. Although it's just the Bolino lighthouse on the IGA, all the symmetry of that reflection is there. The reality that water seeks its level. When buildings are created, structures are built, they're just a little bit higher than the low spot where the water drains. There aren't a whole lot of places except in the coastline areas where there's outdoor showers. Going to take us for a little ride. I'll probably see that gentleman again. I've met and interacted with people that, in fact, one of them is a friend of mine on Facebook. He was the Southeast director of the Hilton Corporation, living in his van. Apparently, it wasn't even his fault. His wife became a cocaine addict. Wow. Crashed his career. She cashed in all his stuff. I meet a lot of tragic lives, a lot of tragic situations. I like to leave those people anonymous for obvious reasons, but the stories are all there. So we'll go to the coastal preserve and I'll show you some beautiful clouds on that water. Should be pretty calm. There's not much wind happening right now. So the $239.9 is the price of fuel up there. I'll put it in a reflection right now. Kind of like a local celebrity in the because of the YouTube Truth logo. I probably won't be able to show you. No, not from here, but I'll show you what I was talking about. I've got it on my photo album. Different puddles. See all those puddles right there? They'll just do it over and over and over again. So like if I want to, and I do, I'm going to put the YouTube Truth logo in a reflection because I can, and I want to illustrate the point. I've never taken this shot before, but I could see it. There's a drain that's not functioning properly yet. And that's how it works. It's different than playing pool. One of the people that I've featured videos and pages does reflection photography with the iPhone, and it's powerful reality. It adds a dimension to photography and videography. So there's an allegory that I want to talk about too, is not just the reflection for the sake of, oh, isn't that interesting? Let's show you that one. It's how as water reflects a man's face, God's word reflects the man. So when I didn't measure up, the question was why? I had struggled on and off pharmaceutical modification of my perspective for years. Over a dozen years, 16 medications, and a life of hell. Hell in this earth, the most difficult circumstances ever. They were a catalyst for legal and illegal drug addiction. Yeah, and they're wanting to make mandatory vaccinations mandatory. There's a lot going on here. I'm outing that whole thing. So when I see the families and the children and all of that, are they going to be drugged with vaccines, with the garbage that the parents are spraying on them for sunscreens, unaware that it's cancer causing and neuro disruptive, brain disruptive? What about that? I remember, so I want to kind of use this as some of what we'll see. We got the dog walkers, and right up on the left side there, the water tower. Well, it's not just a water tower, it's a cell tower, and it's all wired up with a lot of other stuff. Because of the big rain that we've had, I can show you reflective photography and videography. I hope you're seeing it. It's all around. Those clues are all around us. So my reflection in the mirror looks a lot better now that I'm not an alcoholic and a drug addict. That's one of the realities of that. I smile a lot more. I'm a lot happier guy. Oh yeah. Boy, it smells like the sewage truck is over pumping out the coastal preserve. I think it is. The Porta unit there. Or they were somewhere nearby, because dang. Okay. So there's all the reflections there. All the symmetry. just as I expected it, and more. There's a little baby mockingbird here in this neighborhood. I want to drive up and show you where it says dead end, no turnaround. Yeah, how about that? When you're dead, that's the quickest way to turn that. Sometimes it doesn't want to zoom back out. When you're dead, you can't choose anymore, as far as I know. That's biblical. You know, you get to make some choices in this life. Make them good. That's what I would say. Make them by God's, with God's strength and His direction. Oh, there's the Porta unit. I could smell him around. There he is. Ah, yes. So when I bathe in the highly purified drinking water with a little baking soda in it and coconut oil, I go underwater and work that into my sinus passages as well. On a day like today, I'm not using the P1000. I'm going to actually, let me see, I'll just take it as it is, just like this. See, the P1000 is not waterproof or even resistant. We've got video out here of almost 12 hours, the Gospel of John to the Book of Revelation. Little something to keep in mind. A whole lot of something to keep in mind, actually. So you can see the tidal activity. I can see some birds over there. Let's see if I can show you. There they are. Perfect symmetry. It indicates flat and level. That's what you're looking at. So there's empirical evidence. I would say proof. That's what I call it. Flat earth proof is the water. And it gets really weird if I do this. So it's inverted, but it doesn't look as obvious when it's inverted and it's a reflection, but it's still upside down. And then I've got some video where I've done at different angles like that. Does that even make any sense? That could happen anywhere except in the imagination? All the puddles indicate flat and level. Now, they're going to be taken off in a little bit, and I'll show you the Prince Resort right there from the puddles right out in front here. So in playing billiards or pool, we can see the we can see it's on a level plane, but with photography the elevation changes everything. And the lens placement changes everything, all the views. So this happens every time, just a prettier cloud day So I'll walk over here to avoid the stirring this up. It does it with precision, absolute precision. Not only does it drive the whole water cycle of the world, it's the electrical water seeking its level is involved in the generation of electricity, whether it's hydroelectric dams or steam-powered turbines that are water heated up with natural gas, oil, coal, solar, nuclear, all of it. If you've got a channel and you want to interview me, I'd be happy to. Probably not going to do debating. I don't care much for debates. The way that it seems to work out, as best I can tell, is people will have their fanboy who they're rooting for. Hoorah! They've got their mind made up how right they are, even if they're wrong. And then they'll find what they want to believe in. I'm kind of the same way. When I watch a debate and I know the other people are deceived, I know it. It's not that I believe it, I know it. Okay, so here we go. Now this is going to be upside down and in the mirror here. They'll probably see the video because I've talked to them a few times. It's pretty cool. Whoa, that wasn't a... Wow, I don't think there was any stop there. Oh, well. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I can here. Oh, I guess I'm still here. We're still here. I don't even know what happened there with that. So just on the other side of the Prince Resort there is the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier. I'm going to take us up to the, let's see, to the culverts that are up over the, alongside the road. And I want to bring the car because, well, it'll get a lot more views. It's all about the views, seriously. And it's not so that I can just put more fuel in my tank. I seriously want people to go to my channel because I care. That's why I do this. Yeah, they've got a little, hopefully the little baby mockingbird is okay. I don't see him out here today. He's on my a broadcast I did a few days ago. So part of the climate control and water cycle of a enclosed space like this is my the dripping of my air conditioner. It'll do that. You could have a recovery bottle or even a pie pan underneath your evaporator if you needed to have some water and you were in the desert. It would be a way of taking it from your lungs and putting it in your body, back in your body. If you're in a situation where you don't have water and it's not really safe enough to drink or you're not sure about it, let's say you're out camping or hiking and you can go to a mountain stream and you're not sure you want to drink it, you could soak in it for a while In the ocean, you can't, it's not healthy to drink much salt water at all. However, you can swim in it and your body will hydrate somewhat. That's osmosis. It'll go in through the skin. You can take little recycling bottles and make little water distillers using the sun to heat up the water and condense it. I've got a reverse osmosis system at home that I can actually put salt water in a pressure tank, a little sprayer, and pressurize it. One that hasn't had chemicals in it. So I can have a desalinator. Even if we have an interruption in electricity and water sanitation, there are ways to provide clean drinking water. A little chlorine can kill a whole lot of microorganisms that can kill you if you're not careful. All right, so prepping is one of the things that is important. You can pre-purchase things that you're going to want to have if there's supply disruption. I'm not talking about buying crazy stuff that you might never use. I'm just talking about things that you know you're going to use. The gentleman that owns this place owns quite a few businesses and land in the area. He gave me a cowboy Bible. Billy Smith. Nice guy. Talked on a few occasions. So I end up interacting with quite a few people that interact with quite a few people. That's part of the deal, is that we can pass it on. Oh, there's the little heron that was there the other day. So the traction on there, because it's wet, if I started to walk down there, I would just fall into the water. Not going to do it. So what is science? Real science. Testable, repeatable observations. Oh, this looks like the bird that's not afraid of me up there. Ah, we've got some whirlpools. Beautiful. That's what I wanted to show you. I had this the other day on my channel. So in this case, I can walk down flat areas, mostly level. That's mostly level there. So I've got different video where there will be whirlpools that'll form right next to one another. It does it real good on the other side. That's a pretty impressive whirlpool, a lot of volume. And that's happening because the level of water here is higher than the water level on the other side. I've never slid down that hill and fallen into the water. I've just seen that kind of situation before. Some things we don't even have to do once. Doing them again would be stupid. Like I've only put this hand on an electric stove one time. I was, I think, about 3 years old. Gosh, why did I smash up so many cars and lose jobs with alcohol use and drug use? I didn't have the power. There we've got the opposite spinning right there, right before your eyes. Yeah, how about that? I've seen it before. I'm going to help that along. There we go. I've seen that kind of thing before. It was a good illustrator to have it there the first time though, wasn't it? So that looks really different there, and I'm going to take us on over to the other side. So it said 7 o'clock partly cloudy. What, do they program it? Or do they just anticipate it? I don't know. It's kind of interesting. So I couldn't climb up this too good, but this is a lot easier. It's just what I'll do. So when when people see my shirt and me, and then the car, and they know that they're out here driving by, they may go looking for my channel. That's part of the dynamic. So am I on the street? Well, does Robert go out on the street? Hello. How about right now? How about I get out of the way? Yeah, I go out on the street, out on the beach, in the Walmarts, in the Home Depots. I'm a pretty busy guy. And part of the dynamic of all this is helping to encourage people that are getting beat up by a system that doesn't want us telling the truth. Or do they? Some of us, it seems that they want to. They want to. I'm one of the people they like to make fun of. That's okay. I don't mind. Bring it on. Come on by my channel. See what I got going on. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit and show you the precision that water covers things up or exposes them. Thanks for watching. All right, pretty amazing, isn't it? So when this gets lower, there will be a lot of white water. And there's even some whirling effect going on there. And then when the water drops down, the clams are shooting water out. Watch them. Let's see if you can see some. There they are. Pretty active right there. I feel almost no air movement right now. So on these 4 culverts here, if there was a turbine, it would move both directions when it rises and falls. Is it enough to warrant a hydroelectric placement? Probably not. You know, like a hydroelectric dam? Probably not. There's an airplane. Yep. So wherever you live, I encourage people to get out and enjoy the reality of the world that we live in. And if you want to have a shirt that speaks, that causes question, I would say, you know what? A YouTube truth shirt will do it. People wonder, well, what does he think the truth is or believe the truth is? Well, there's believing, and then there's knowing. And as much as important as it is to know what the Bible says, it's even more important to know the author of the Bible. And I know him personally in such a way that I will do whatever he wants me to. And everybody else can just do whatever they believe they need to do about that. This way is not as easy to get down as this way. It's one of the reasons I have high performance footwear. They're let's see, what are they? They're Speedo watercross shoes. I can climb with them and all kinds of stuff. There we go. I'm going to see how close I can get to the minnows down there that are circulating around it. I think this, you know what, I could keep it going. Yeah, I don't need to cut the broadcast just yet. Now that I'm at this elevation, I'm going to just drop it down a little bit. I've never done this one before while I'm terribly close to ending the broadcast with my finger unintentionally. Wow, there's my reflection in that angled side of the whirlpool. So, for me, I would say, you know, there is a sense of wonder with all this, trying to not only discover what I can in the world out here, it's also how can I communicate that to others, to raise up a group of people to that are willing to go ahead and expose the reality of the world we live in. Yep, I'm back on the street. It's an inside joke. That's for everybody. Yeah, I just, I love to help people see things, I believe, more accurately. The reality of it. I believe that the truth and reality are interchangeable. Oh, that's a lot better. All I did was tap the middle of my view. This is an iPhone 10. There is, they say there's a lot of AI in the phone. Look at the symmetry of that. So there's current as in water, there's current as in electricity. We saw the electricity in the form of lightning discharges. So the model that I believe in, the model of the earth that I believe in is the, whoops, what did I just do here? Okay, is the biblical model of a stationary earth with the sun, moon, and stars moving above the face of the earth. That's the model. And the fact that water seeks its level, and as water reflects a man's face, God's word reflects the man. Not only reflects the man, it also reflects the creation. God's word says to everybody forever that He, the Creator, God, is evident within His creation. Can you see Him? Can you see His fingerprints all over creation? He's not just up there. He's here in me and in many of my friends. So I thought I was born again until I actually was. It's not a popular thing to say in a lot of the modern expressions of Christianity because there's a lot of false religion. That's Cocapelli. I believe that's my friend Wyatt driving. Another friend of mine is Brandon Olin Todd. They're owners of that, and they do the surf camp out there in front of the pier. So I've interacted with them on many occasions. You can see Brandon on my and Wyatt on my videos and photos when they're doing the surf training. Some big raindrops falling around, not like a little mist, like a little sprinkle, like big drops. That should look really cool on the water. I would think there's a rainbow somewhere around here. There's a firmament up above. That's the other part of the flat earth model I believe in. The biblical model of creation. And the firmament is a structure that separates the waters from above from the waters below. I can't get more than a thin layer of water to stick to that spinning plastic globe. Do you think you can get 5.5 miles more water on top of this to cover all the mountains? Well, in the container it's in, of course. Yeah, when God opened up the floodgates of heaven, yeah, water going in, air going out. Yeah, and then the fountains of the deep. Lots of water, lots of water. The archaeological find of the Ark, Noah's Ark, in the mountains of Ararat, that's on my liked videos. Suppressed technology like the water torch, taking salt water and creating fuel to run a vehicle. Denny Klein out of Florida can melt rock or cut steel with it. Take electricity and shatter the bond between oxygen and hydrogen, and you've got a clean burning fuel. The byproduct is water vapor, moisture. Did you hear about that? Why would they suppress that? Not much money in creating energy for people to run cars out of water. Oh, but it takes electricity. Well, there's a lot of electricity all around us, just so you know. All these power lines are very likely gathering certain aspects of energy from the air all around us. I don't know for sure. I know that you can look into it. They've got to ground themselves out on helicopters when they're working on power lines, even though they've got the electricity shut off. They say it's static electricity. It may be more than that. It may be static from the environment all around. Wouldn't that be something if the coal-fired steam generating electrical plants are part of the equation, and then another big part of it would be all the wiring that's all around harvesting electricity from the air all around us. Could be. There's a lot of suppressed technology. So if you were to look for videos, some of the videos that are on my liked video playlist I found over a decade ago, information. I'm going to cover one of them. Steel reinforced concrete housing. You can take a steel reinforced panel. It's called 3D panel or 3D panel. And it's insulated steel reinforced concrete construction. You can build yourself a castle inexpensively comparative to a lot of other methods. And it takes half the energy to climate control it. Wow. You can add a battery to your house, draw electricity from the sun. And if you don't need to consume it for climate control, that's one of the biggest expenses for energy here is climate control. Well, if you've got a super high energy efficient house, that'd be cool. Half the energy to climate control. And how about that it's not even, but it's not vulnerable to hurricanes. It can withstand 200-mile-an-hour winds. I've got video on my channel to show that. It's like hurricane proof. A lot of ripples on the water. Sometimes they seem to be generated by, I don't know, maybe it's like tremors. We're in a seismic area. Could be. Charleston is about 120 miles south. But that's the ocean. This is curved. This is Cherry Grove, South Carolina. So people can walk up, take a picture of it. I can send the stickers to you if you want. Or you can just hashtag it in a comment if you want to. That'd be cool. That actually is a tangible way of helping me do what I do. If you type a hashtag of Robert Forsch in a search, it will make my activity elevated in the search results. So when somebody says, hey, what's up with this guy? They'll find a lot of content there. They'll find me at the first Flat Earth conference, the Sun in the Clouds video, and a whole lot more. A lot there. There you go. I'm going to take us out to the Prince Pier, or the Cherry Grove Pier, the Prince Resort. So here we've got some electrical lines that are above the ground and a whole lot that are, well, power lines that are underground too. I've seen video, and I've featured it on my liked videos of houses off-grid that have electrical lines running around their property while they're not connected to the power grid. Now look at the level puddles there. Just keep that in mind. All of them are level. Not some of them, all of them. Anyway, so on this house that's off-grid, they're pulling electricity out of the ether. A-E-T-H-E-R, ether. Tesla talked about it. We've got Tesla technology that's being used, and now that it's stopped raining, pretty much, I'm going to grab the P1000, and I'll get that bad boy fired up. And I'll have a plastic bag with me in my pocket in case I need to bag it. So something like this, just a simple plastic bag in my pocket, can save a very expensive camera. And they're all around us, so, but it's no good if it's got a hole in it, right? So a clean lens is a really big deal. It's a mirror then too, kinda. One of the things that I'll use is a lens pen, they're called. And I've got a polarized filter on it. This is the lens pen, and it's really nice because I've got a little bit of sand on there. So brushing that off is critical. And then I'll use this end right here. Works really good. I'm going to clean that off a little bit. And then you start in a circular motion and work your way out. And one of the benefits of this, I sweat a lot. I've got coconut oil on my skin. If I just have a rag in my pocket, that won't work too good. There we go. So that protects the cleaning surfaces from all that coconut oil on me. One scratch on the lens will mess it up. So it's important to have it nice and clean without the scratching. And then microfiber works really good. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I rig this up. There's what the just black electrical tape holding a good holder there. So that's what I do, is I'll put that on there. And if I'm going to go ahead and make sure I got my keys, and then I'm going to go ahead and start recording with the P1000. I think the sun is going to probably pop through. Alright, so this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. Please go ahead and hashtag my name if you like. You can call me anytime. My phone number is 1-843-504-1776. Looks like my friend Luke is out here surfing. Good morning. He's got the bike with the trailer on it. I'll show you. Good morning. There it is, the surf trailer. Luke and his family and friends work together with some adaptability outreach for surfers, helping surfers that don't have the use of their legs. Some of them don't have the use of arms even in their surf. They take them out in the water and help them surf. So as far as an outreach on the street is helpful as it may, somebody may think, well, I should go out on the street more. I do, and the thing that's really nice about the beach is that people can have their children running around and they're not worried about a car running them over, and they're relaxed and they're looking, they're searching. That's one of the other huge advantages to the beach. That's why I use this as a ministry outreach. Now, here's one of the other dynamics, and I want to kind of unpack this a little bit because it's very common that people will look at what somebody's doing thinking, well, maybe they should do it this way or that way. I'm that guy too. So here's one of the dynamics. When people come to Myrtle Beach, they don't come here to go to the Walmart. They come here to go to the beach, and going to the Walmart or being in between is keeping them from the beach. However, when there's a thunderstorm and it's people are all next to the gathering together by the exit door, there's Luke right there. Then I can walk in there, and I will. So they're not going to go to the beach. They're at the Walmart hunkering down because there's a rainstorm going on. Ah, Linda's got her, maybe a new camera. Hey Linda, is that a new camera? Okay. A new lens, what is it?
It only goes up to 300.
Ah, hey, you're on, dear. That's my friend Linda.
No makeup.
You look great, dear. What a beautiful day, huh?
It's nice out.
Luke got a pretty good ride there. He's pretty good at just chilling and riding.
Yeah.
Nice long ride.
How are you, Bob?
Oh, doing excellent, thanks. Yeah, I love it out here.
You're not setting up chairs anymore?
Well, I've got some condos to clean today. I do set up chairs sometimes, not every day. So when I get done with this live Facebook broadcast, then I'll convert it to a YouTube video and get that downloading, uploading, and then I'll be cleaning. Have some really neat footage that I shot this morning. You can see it if you like later on. We didn't have a rainbow yet this morning that you could see, did you? Or did we?
Not that I
By looking at the sand, it came down pretty hard within the last day anyway.
It came down really hard this morning.
Like, when was it, 4 o'clock or so? Oh, that's an excellent shot. So we have, Joni and I and our sons had vacationed here for over 30 years, and we've lived here for about a decade now. Our sons moved back to Wisconsin, but Joni and I are still here. And Joni grew up here, went to school in North Myrtle Beach, and did cheerleading with Vanna White. I'm going to zoom in on the banana boat down there. Can you see it? Well, if you tune in later when I upload my P1000 coverage, you'll see it. So when it's really beautiful like this out here, and people will, they'll look out of their window and they'll say, hey, it looks pretty nice, let's go for a walk on the beach. And that's what'll happen. A lot of people will come on out. And then I could just run up to a lot of people and, like Chicken Little, say the sky is falling, weather wars, artificial intelligence, all of that. The earth's flat. What happens is people are curious and they come up to me and I talk to them. Or they just see my shirt and they stop on by my channel and take a look around. Some subscribe, some don't, and they just come back. I subscribe to other people even when they're hating on me. Isn't that special? I'm going to zoom in now. I can tell it's getting a bit lighter. A little direct sunlight's coming through. That's a very interesting tapestry of clouds. I've got 16 minutes left on this recording with the P1000. I might be able to get some really interesting shots with this. So Job 37 says that the sun is in the midst of the clouds. I observe it and capture it many times, and I love that about God's Word. He tells us what's going on in this world, and that there's a battle that He has already fought for His children, provided salvation for His children only. Otherwise, why would anybody be in hell? Satan's children, and Satan will be in hell. I don't know who's who, so I hand out the invitation to everybody to hear, share, and of course obey God's Word. I listen to the Bible when I'm sleeping at night, or almost sleeping. Get up to make a post or answer a comment. It's kind of random on that too, because there's, like I mentioned earlier, it's not unusual for me to get more than 1,000 notifications in a day, so I can't keep up on all of them. That's why I'll do a broadcast and say thank you so much, or a recording. Thank you so much for your public and private encouragement. I appreciate that. One 843-504 1776 1776. That's my phone number right there. And it's all public too. That's one of the other things. I'm covering a kaleidoscope of conspiracies. Remember, 2 kids stealing a bicycle is a conspiracy. What do you call it when artificial intelligence is hijacking the collective cybernetic the cybernetic collective of humanity, their thinking, their imaginations, giving fake space trips and trips to Mars, and Elon Musk lies saying, sell your house and move to Mars. Yeah, it's not that hospitable, but we can nuke some ice caps and melt some water. And what the heck? Are you buying this garbage? Launching cars to space? Come on. Come on. So they're lying. I ain't buying. I'm blowing the whistle on them. That's what I'm doing. Hey, where's all this water coming from here? It's coming out of the sand. The tide is going out. We can see that. We've got the rain textured footprints on the sand here. And then it's we can see that it's the water washed it away. One of the other things that I can do with the P1000 is not just capture some interesting sun in the clouds video and the moon shots and that, is I can also capture the people shots. Searching, looking for something to think about, to commemorate their visit to the beach. So I've had people that I've seen years ago that would come up to me. They were on their honeymoon. They said, we saw you on our honeymoon 3 years ago. We're so glad we met you. That's part of what happens here. This is a place where people celebrate lives that have transitioned. 3 people per second no longer have their human experience. We're all eternal beings having a temporary human experience. So some of these people that I've met, they've transitioned. Oh wow, sun in the clouds, got it. Nailed it again. There's sun behind the clouds and in front of the clouds. It's a different look, and I've got a lot of occurrences of it. And then there are people that fashion themselves to be experts to explain how it works. Oh, how amazing that you know all that. Really? Well, does what you say contradict the Bible? Oh yeah, but you've got it all figured out on how I'm overdriving the sensor and yada, yada, yada. Well, God's word says the sun's in the clouds. How about that? There you go. So I'll create the content. People can look at it. I've had people tell me they've come to believe a lot that they were living in a false reality because of my sun in the clouds video. Local sun. Hashtag local sun. Look at how few clouds it takes to dim that out. That's why we can't see all across the ocean. And yet where it's clear between, I'm going to zoom in down low, that's getting some pretty direct sunlight right down below. That'd be what I'd call a hot spot. Okay? There it is. Bam. Nailed it. Hey, thanks, Deb. She said on the comments yesterday, hashtag nailed it. She thanked Nathan for having me on the Google Hangout. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the encouragement, all the different comments, some that I haven't even seen yet, I'm sure, somewhere out there. Wow, where's the sun? Where'd it go? 3:48, I believe, today the moonrise will be. The Tides Near Me app gives projections on when the sun appears and vanishes, and the percentage of the moon as well. And this time of the day, good morning. This time of the day is a whole different group of people or a whole different activity. It's the walking. It's not just sitting by the beach. So when I say, you know, we're expecting in this area 20 million people, it's a symphony of humanity, and it happens at all different times of the day. So even when I may go into the Walmart to not even buy anything, just to take my YouTube Truth shirt for a walk around with a smile on my face and a pocket full of stickers. Yeah, now I've got one on my shirt, and I've got one right there too. Let me put it on here. So we've got some hard light hitting down farther in Myrtle Beach. I'm going to zoom in on it and show you while it's happening. Hard light meaning direct sunlight hitting those buildings there. Could see the light flashing. Where was that? Lighthouses are a clue on long distance over the water because they'll punch through the fog. Hard light there, and right next to it, in the same view, we can see the silhouettes of the building, not getting much light. More hard light hitting those buildings. It's just the reality of it. So I'm a photographic investigative journalist that collaborates with people from all over the world, sharing my content and theirs. It's not a me celebration, it's a we celebration. We have the technology to leverage worldwide instantaneous portable communications, and in fact the artificial intelligence that's not too people friendly. Yeah, how about that? Direct light hitting there, the hot spot. Not hitting the dunes on the other side of the pier, or the water right in front of us. How about that? I suspect that, oh, there's Luke getting a good ride again. If I had to choose between this me that you're looking at right now perishing and my digital me staying up, or my digital me getting taken down and this one staying up, I would rather have the digital me stay up. I'm not suicidal or homicidal. I'm just telling you like it is. I've got a worldwide outreach, and a lot of people have helped that happen. That was just drips in the sand coming through from up here. It's a little bit different. I'm going to zoom in on some of the hard and soft light. One of the other reasons now, so for example, I'm going to zoom in on some buildings, and they're hard to see. Buildings next to it much easier to see just because of the lighting. If you seriously want to know the truth about why we can't see other continents, the moisture over the ocean will do it. And then there's particulate in there. The weather is being modified. The gene pool is being modified. There's human cloning and a merging of machine learning systems, technology, machine learning computers. And when the robotics is kind of awkward for some. Autonomous robots walking around connected to the internet is one thing, but we've got robots in factories that do a great job. So, but then there's more than that. There's the AI that can interrupt the power grid. Yeah, can do a deep fake. It's called. You can hashtag it deep fake. They can put different people's voices and video together and make them say things they never said. Interesting clouds moving in front of the sun. Very interesting, like a wave. And then about the middle of the day, the sun is going to be overhead. That's how it works out, actually. So thanks so much for your public and private encouragement. I'm going to cut the P1000 broadcast in a moment. I'm going to record as much of the sun as I can. There we go. So what I'm doing right now, I wanted to take a picture showing the buildings close and visible. In the middle, hard to see the buildings because there's no sun and a lot of fog, and so I'll snap a few shots. If I want, I can add a thumbnail to it. That's part of what it is. Although I've got a P900 still, I use the P1000 the most. And when I've got these two devices, the iPhone 10 and the P1000 together, it's like the film crew, the recording crew that I'm wanting to raise up is you, if you want to, whoever you are watching, or people that have seen me make this appeal to them. It's a ministry outreach because people are very reflective on their lives, reflective off of the sand. It's all part of the deal. And they're sometimes open to new information, kind of relaxed. I mean, they could say, "Hey, I got an appointment," but I'm saying, "What appointment?" No, they normally don't do that. "Oh, I gotta go." Okay. That's fine. Oh, Mommy and Addison. How precious. And probably right over there by the pier. Isn't that special? I mean, it's really amazing the interaction out here with people. I just love it. Now we can see the sky looks really blue there. Wow. Wow. So you could hashtag firmament. There's a lot of water up there. There's an innovative guy there, let me tell you. Luke Sharp. Very cool. So part of what happens, maybe you couldn't see Luke wave to me earlier. He'll probably pop on by. Luke's a friend. Good to see you, Luke. Got some nice rides you on the other recording as well, zoomed in. So even when I would hear songs like Stevie Nicks say it only thunders when it's only lightning when it rains, I started questioning even song lyrics like a long time ago. Is that really true? People get killed by lightning and there's no raindrops even close to where they are. It's raining somewhere, I can tell you that. I just don't know where. So this is a ministry outreach that comes to this area. All these people come here, and it's wonderful. I've got different photos of a pile of shoes that was like twice as big as that one. Good morning. It was kind of funny seeing all the, just like I said, the symphony of humanity. One of the other things is that there are people that have visited here having special times, and that special person they were visiting with isn't in their life anymore. They might want to come here and reflect on time spent out by the pool or on the beach. So I have like in the middle of the view, I'll just show you like the little moped here. So our son Austin used to do beaching umbrellas, putting out the umbrellas and beach chairs, and they rent them out. And I'll meet people from Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic, all over that do that. Teenagers, people from China, not that do the umbrellas so much, but I meet, they really like it when I do the bubbles, when I'm out on the street and I'm blowing bubbles on Main Street in North Myrtle Beach. So it costs $3 to walk on the pier, and that's all day, or for $60, I get an annual pass. I got the annual pass. I go out there quite a bit. I think today would be a good day to go back out for a little bit. One of the reasons why I will go live on Facebook is the notification process is so much more. So are you open? Are you open to new information? Seeing something a little different? Hey, good morning, Ron. All right, so this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I just activated another P1000 recording because there's going to be some interesting video I'm going to be able to capture here and talk about it. The angled rays that you're looking at with the sun are called crepuscular rays. Emanating from a local light source, the sun. The sun, moon, and stars move above a stationary Earth. Stationary level Earth. How about that? The sand here, because of beach renourishment, is about 5 feet higher than it was, and miles long. It was an amazing effort to add the depth of the sand. I'm going to zoom in on my friends over there with Aloha Water Sports, getting set up with the parasailing. That looks like my friend Jess. Known Jess for years. So a lot of the people that are in my videos, even, you know, like Jess out there on the boat, known them for years. I may pop on by later on, but they go and check out my channel. We've talked on season, off season. So when it's showtime and there's a lot of people riding the boats, obviously I'm not going to be out there talking to them. I've had significant conversations with a lot of people that interact with a lot of people. So it's an outreach not only during the season, it's a ministry outreach working with the people that work with the people that work with the people. Zoomed in on a little girl and her mom about a mile away. I'm not putting any of them at risk. You can just see it's a mom and her daughter. I see them learning to walk out here sometimes. How precious. There you go. Video to engage the heart and the mind. That's why I do this. It's way more than the shape of the earth. It's about the shape of humanity, the shape of the soul. What will it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? So I suspect long after I can no longer create content, Lord willing, it'll still be out there. I've got the YouTube Truth playlist, hashtag YouTube Truth. It's a playlist with an audio Bible and the Gospel of John movie in there. I recently put that to the top of my list of liked videos. It's my favorite Bible story, the Gospel account from John. one author of Scripture. The other thing with an extended broadcast like this is it gives me the opportunity to just to show you some time. You can scroll back and forth if you like to, or show you what it looks like as you know, the nighttime turns into day and the people come out and enjoy the beauty of this. So it's a virtual visit to the Myrtle Beach area, virtually free, pun intended. Those benches there are on an angle. The one I'm on right now is sitting level, I can tell. It's easier to sit on and to do what I'm doing. So now there's a several mile-an-hour breeze blowing the fog out from in front of the buildings, probably about 5 miles an hour. And even though the direct hard light of the sun isn't hitting the buildings, we can see them. Just a gentle little breeze. One of the reasons a laser test across this water isn't really anything I would want to do or participate in, simply because it's there's a tidal activity that there's a lot of water moving up at the edge of the continent here in South Carolina. Hey, what was that? So down in South America at the tip, or South Africa, really close to what it looks like on the globe. I've got multiple globes in the house. Like, that's some pretty warm area that's supposed to be really close to some really cold area. Like the tip of South Africa, right next to Antarctica and all that. So we really don't know the distances between continents for sure. I'm not a cartographer, so I can look at photos and say, hey, where was that taken? Well, even there I would have to trust the photographer, because NASA says they're taking pictures from space. They're liars. They're not taking pictures of the Earthrise. That's all Photoshop because it has to be. It's Photoshop because it has to be. Yeah, you know what? I've got a camera right here. Why don't they just take it up high enough to show us the whole globe? How about the Hubble telescope? Is that high enough? It's got a better camera than this one, supposedly. Why don't we have video of the Earth from space? Real stuff instead of make-believe, instead of the science fiction. Oh well, it's just the way it is. They're lying about it, presenting a false reality, seeing is believing. What? What do we see and what do we believe? I've had more than one person ask me if water is wet. Yeah, hello, water's wet. Water evaporates, condenses, fills its container, doesn't stick to a ball. It's very reflective, a lot of energy in it to clean your body, to clean the earth. It's all part of the deal. It's reality. Truth and reality are interchangeable. And on a live several-hour broadcast with concurrently a couple of P1000 recordings, I know I'm repeating myself. It's for a whole different video. I would rather have the content and have somebody say, oh, there he is, got another long video, I'm not going to watch it. Okay. People do. People watch my videos more than I'm alive in a month. There's more watching of my digital me than I'm alive, as far as I know right now. Now, artificial intelligence, AI, knows exactly how many minutes. So in this tapestry of humanity, there are locals that I've talked to on quite a few occasions. Some I've never talked to. Some I may never talk to or meet. But then they interact with the people that are out here that are visiting as well. It's all a very interesting effect. Now, one of the other things I'd want to call your attention to is, well, oh, I can see the sun peeking through a little bit. About to. Trying to get a shot of it. It's kind of tough. I've lived in California on the coast, Texas, Corpus Christi, Port Aransas, Padre Island. I love the water. I started swimming. I had a young man say we don't have any memories before 4 years old. I'll say, hey, I remember when I was in a crib, when I was a baby in a crib. Not all of it, just some of it. I remember swimming in a lake when I was less than 2 years old, going underwater with a swim mask. I loved going underwater. So like this young man with the beach chairs walking there, he's from the Czech Republic. So when I'm out on the main street blowing bubbles, and I've interacted with a group from China. They loved videoing them. I'm zoomed in on a group of surfers way out there. And a lot of times the joggers will interact with the dog walkers, and it's just a symphony of humanity. And then the dog walkers and the baby stroller pushers and the parents of all these the young children. A symphony of humanity. Single, married, looking, not looking. Not looking for another relationship. And part of what has happened with me is now that I'm actually born again, I'm really satisfied with my relationship with God. And so that's why I do this, because I can assure you it's not because of the approval of people. It's because of His approval in empowering me to do this. I love it. Absolutely love it. That's why I can say that even when there's difficult circumstances in my life. I'm drawing on a source that's beyond me. Ah, there's the sun. Wow. What I like to do too, and I'm doing it right now with the P1000, is I'm zooming in real tight on the sun, and it's interesting how hard it is to see it unmagnified. So one of the dynamics with the camera is that it creates a lot of curiosity. A lot of people want to know what I'm recording, and some of them will, of course, come up and talk to me. I've got them on my video, and then others will just go there or not. So if I've dropped a video in a group that's arguing about what the shape of the earth is, or whether or not people can decide to be a child of God or just realize it and be born again, or what about weather modification, global warming, and whatever conspiracy, whatever thing that people want to argue about, I may just, when I drop a video, I drop my playlist. Some people say this video doesn't prove anything. Hello, it's like 2,600 videos. If you want to look at them or scroll on by, ignore me if you want. I don't care. But the reality is I do care. I care enough about the people I care enough about doing what God created me to do. So even people getting upset and lying about me, that happens too. People lie about me, say things that aren't true. Oh well. That's part of the deal too. So even the people hating on me is part of the what I'm doing, what God is doing through me. They're going to be held accountable for a persistent reaching out to them and a refusal of God's imploring them. And I'm a part of that. We all are. We're all in this theater of battle. It's not a dinner theater where people congratulate themselves on a great performance. It's, I believe, a theater of battle, and truth and deception are main weapons, so that even though they can create a cloned, mind-controlled entity that maybe is even demonically inhabited, and people will argue about that, whether that's even possible. I would say, yeah, I believe it is. Seen evidence of it. Is demon possession still happening? I believe so. I can't know for sure. I see some really wicked evidence around us. Wicked people doing evil things to innocent people. How does that work? Well, God is sovereign, meaning He's in charge. He knows what He's doing, and His perspective is far different than mine. And I just simply trust Him that He knows what He's doing. Is it okay to question God? Well, I believe it was really what He wanted me to ask Him. If I was, the question I asked Him is, if I'm truly born again, why am I such a mess? How about that? Good question. Tell Him what He gets for that question. I'll tell you what I got. I got the Holy Spirit, passion, purpose, and eternal perspective, and the power to do what I couldn't do before. So I get to do what I want because He puts the want to do what He created me to do. It's an absolute perfect fit. God is not a cosmic killjoy. I'm imploring people to seek the truth with all your heart because it matters for eternity. More hard light, less humidity, more clarity of buildings. Let me show you. All right, so what I'm going to do is head on home and go ahead and I think I'm going to take us for a drive for a bit, as well as what I'll do is I'll upload a couple of P1000 recordings. You might find it really interesting. There's some spectacular footage there, and not just what I've captured now. If you want to go over there, there's a lot of videos of this area, as well as powerful documentaries to expose the reality of the world that we live in. So I am going to take us for a drive so you can see what it's like to, drive from here to home, how it all looks this time of the day. Everything a bit different. Good day, Ron. Good morning. Good, good. Hey, Perry. Good morning. Good morning.
What?
I think I need to go ahead and take a couple of pictures. Wow, it is so spectacular out here today. Good morning, Sally. Doing great. Another beautiful day, huh?
Yes, it is.
They do have oceanfront condos for sale here, and I'll put that on the view so you can see if you wanted to reach out to them. And the Boardwalk Cafe has some really excellent food and hospitality. Whoop. So if you have a business card that you want to send to somebody, you can take a picture of it and send it to them. I have my contact information on my, my wallpaper, my lock screen for my phone. That's kind of handy. And then what I did too, this camera phone will only charge for about or run for a couple hours without a charge. So this right here is, you can get them from Best Buy, maybe you can get them from Amazon. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, about Amazon. They're one of the reasons why Jeff Bezos, business magnate, can sell things so low is that he's selling cloud storage, and he's supporting his overall activity through that huge profit center, just so you know. So when he is able to purchase up businesses that he was competing with, that he puts out of business, that's just all part of the dynamic of how business can work out. Walmart did it with their Equate brand products. You know, when you've got products 1/3 the price of the name brand, what you going to buy? They look like that. They intentionally have them look the similar package. So the water will do this all day long, and it'll get still and it'll get level. If I hold it still enough, the water inside the container will get level. And the short version of all this is the truth matters. If the truth doesn't matter to you, I'm just sorry to hear that. I don't know any other way to say it. I know people like that. What does it matter? It doesn't matter. Really? Okay. Well, just think about it. When you ask a question, you want the answer, does the truth matter? You can fill in the blank. It's an easy right turn for me to make because I typically have people that are in the crosswalk. Just kind of interesting. It's one of the regular dynamics. The gentleman from Honeycut Produce that you just saw wave at me, and he was delivering vegetables. We've talked several times. I'm on the street. And I'm on the internet worldwide. How about that? And I'll take you along with me. You get to see what I do and how I do it. You get to see some of how I do and some of what I do. There's a lot of a day that I'm not recording it, not showing it. It's just not practical, and it changes the whole dynamic. Sometimes it just, I wouldn't have the conversations and hear from people what they tell me if I had a camera going. So that's one of the reasons why I don't record everything. It just wouldn't be practical. So I'm going to pull on into where I was earlier, where my friends there pulled in and did the maintenance on the porta units. just to let you see what it looks like now. And one of the other dynamics that happens too is, seriously, it is about the views. I remember thinking about that for quite a while. Not just YouTube video views, it's about views of the car, who sees it, where they see it. They aren't going to see it pulling into a liquor store, getting all liquored up. I don't do that anymore. I don't need to. I found something way better. And I'm not all shaking my finger at, you're not supposed to be doing that, like some of the legalists do in this morality. Sinners sin. I'm a child of God, saved by His grace and given new life, so I don't even have the appetite for that stuff that I used to do. So that's why I do it like this. And in the privacy of your own thinking and your own life, you can review the information and say, that's kind of interesting, or not. I mean, there's a lot of people that won't see any of what I'm doing, ever. Never know I even existed. That's okay. However, God is all-knowing and all-powerful, and He can choreograph it. So I have people that I meet that they say, I'm so glad you're an answer to prayer. Heard it many, many times. Many, many times. And so I'm simply, spreading these seeds of truth all around to anybody who will look at them, and maybe they'll grow in some people's hearts. So to be clear, when I found out that they were lying about the moon landing and 9/11, I found out about 9/11 being an inside job in 2008. It was a world-changing, paradigm-changing experience when I came to realize that was all an inside job. It blew me away. Now, I had known 30 years ago that vaccines they were designed to cripple. Ouch. It's not that some of them may have some bad side effects. No, they're designed to cripple humanity. Ouch. And so in battle, on the battlefield, the .223 round in an AR-15 can kill, obviously. However, it does a whole lot of collateral damage to wound a lot of people, and it takes more personnel to handle a wounded person than a dead person. So rather than kill a child, which Satan takes great pleasure in doing, crippling them and the family to be caregivers, and that is very powerful, and it's a reality of what's going on. Now, in the context of all that, looking at that and being aware that God is all-knowing and all-powerful, that presents some real challenging issues for people to consider, everybody to consider, including me. I just trust that God knows what He's doing. So in just a moment, we'll see the big, flat, shiny spot. And that, of course, is tidal affected, because that's the intracoastal waterway. And so we have neurotransmitters running all around our body. Our gut generates them, our digestive tract. So that needs to be working well. And then simple things like doing what I believe I should do is congruent with my belief system, and I have the power to do that. So going the speed limit is helpful. Coming up here, we'll have cars merging from the right, speed zone, hospital zone, in the middle. I had a classmate of mine say, you're supposed to be in the right lane if you're going slower. It's like, well, it's not, maybe you don't know the whole picture. And that's part of what happens. People will say, oh, you should be doing this or that. Well, you're maybe unaware of the whole picture. That happens. And by irony and paradox, people don't know what they don't know. Pause for dramatic effect. It's just the reality of it. God's word says to everybody forever, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. Wow. It's a big deal. So people are largely going to believe the lie they apparently want to believe, and God will help that to happen for them. Are they Satan's children? Well, ultimately, God's children will be born of His Spirit, and then even tragic experiences that I've heard testimonies of, people that were abused in many ways, and are just so grateful to be born again now, grateful to be a child of God. One of them on my liked videos, I did a live broadcast of her video so I could put it live, was a young lady who survived a saline abortion. She was burned and it was terrible, but she survived it. And she is a public speaker now. And the man who had to sign her live birth certificate performs oversees millions of abortions a year. And he says it's his great pleasure to do that. What kind of wicked person would do that? Abortion is murder. And it's a sin. And it's legal. And then there's things that are illegal that I don't believe should be. However, I'm not the one that decides. I'm not going to try and figure all that out. And I'm not on a crusade for everything. What I would simply say is for people to seek the truth with all your heart, because it matters for eternity. And where will you spend it, and why? Why will you be wherever forever? So they dig this big hole in the ground to have the dirt to make an overpass, an on-ramp. Won't be able to see too much of it now, but there it is. All the reality of the world that we live in is far different than we're being told. There's intentional digital distraction that people are going to find a tremendous amount of deception when they get there. When they're digitally distracted with their handhelds, computers, televisions, and what are they going to find? Or what are they going to believe about what they're looking at? So my pursuit of the truth has been difficult for a lot of people to be around. Even when I was a teenager getting high, smoking pot in the park, and I would say, do you believe God is for real? Do you believe that's all true? They lied about Santa. What about God? Is that real? Is He real? Or is it just a way to control people? That's what I was told by my physiology teacher, my physical science teacher. He was a pot-smoking hipster that basically said God was a creation of the imagination. He's not real. So that's what I heard from him. And then I heard from other people that He's real and He changed their lives. Who are you going to believe? Changed lives are pretty powerful evidence. Works for me. Yeah, that's why I do this. I mean, I'm actually constrained to, not legalistically. It's because, well, I want to. And largely we do what we want to do. That's just kind of how that works out. So in the middle of the view, when I pull in, there should be a big puddle there that'll reflect a lot of signs over in the parking lot area. That's why the car's splashing the water out. Maybe you can see it. And then it'll just go right on back. It doesn't work upside down, except in the imagination. That's where the globe exists, is in the imagination only. I won't see too many reflections there now. It's reflecting differently. But that's okay. It was a good illustration. Something as spectacular as a spinning sphere made out of water with some dirt sticking out of it, you would think they would show us if it were real. Supposedly the technology with all those friggin' satellites flying around should be able to help us see it. No, it's not happening. Yeah, the Hubble telescope should be able to show us. There's one of our law enforcement. We've got a lot of police that live local here. That's awesome. Yeah, because I make my information public. Hey, I want to show you something here. This is a pretty cool thing. Just because of the lighting and all that, it'll show up really nice. We did have an alligator in the neighborhood. They relocated him, though. Yeah, we had a 12-foot alligator that used to live in there. They took him to a new neighborhood in that special. And a lot of the law enforcement I've talked face to face with, it's all good. It kind of works out that I get to know the people around here, our neighborhood, all that. Who knows? He might even want to talk to me. I don't know. He waves, seems friendly. A lot of times I back in, and it just won't work right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take us on in, take everything in, and go ahead and download it and upload it, all of that. It's pretty calm right now. I started out this morning showing you this when it was pretty dark and stormy looking. And so just the simplicity of things like a wind chime not moving much at all. And they don't hang upside down. If you can find, if you've got any evidence of that, go ahead and send it to me. That'd be just great. All right. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. Hey, I know what I'm going to do. Although I had it in my, let's see, I don't think I have it so good and so easily accessible in my trunk. I'll just go ahead and end it like this. Thank you so much.